So let me explain how this will work. Normally, you guys are getting kind of a light version of it, but normally we have a few other investors to help critique the way that the 1 minute pitch is going. So what we generally do is we pick a guinea pig. Whoever volunteers to pitch first can get a bonus by being able to pitch again after hearing the feedback. Okay, so usually we have one person who pitches, we give them the feedback, and then we go boom, boom, boom through all the others. You guys have had the opportunity to sign up to pitch. Have you used that? The pitch sign up?
I didn't sign up because I thought I had a Samsung camera.
Oh, no, for a 1 minute pitch, you're not going to talk about it unless you know it. Like this is a really large market. The total market is 300 billion. And so my achievable market in the United States is this much. And I think my SOM is going to be this. But if you don't know your SOM yet because you haven't done it, you can just say, this is a huge market I'm entering. And it's 300 billion, because that part of the research shouldn't be that hard to do. But the SOM takes a long, long time to get right. So, all right. Then I think what I'm going to have to do is put this sign up sheet, do the 1 minute presentations, use slides. No, on the 1 minute you don't, you're just talking. But then we're going to have an opportunity for everybody to vote to say who they want to hear more from. And those 3 people should have done slides for a 3 minute presentation. So has everybody out there done a 3 minute presentation? Okay, well, don't worry about that. We've got 2 responses. So the first person to sign up was Bruce. So Bruce, you do get to go first. And since there's only me to give feedback, it's not going to take that long, but I will try to be thorough. Well, then whenever you are ready, generally speaking, when I start the timer, I wait for you guys to say your personal name and the name of your company, and then I start the timer. So whenever you're ready.
All right, so I'm Nicholas with Luxury Realty Group, co-founder of our project to transform our existing luxury real estate brokerage to be powered by AI. So whenever it comes to buying a home, everyone has expectations on what working with the real estate agent will be like. What do you expect from them? The experience most people would describe would be helpful, informative, and allowing them to save time and reduce stress. Unfortunately, this is not often the case, and we're changing that. AI now allows us to revolutionize industries that are seriously underserving the consumer, and this now includes real estate. Our AI prototype, in its first of 3 stages, will be the best real estate advisor you've ever had and available to you 24/7. It should get you to the point as a buyer to be able to walk into a home and already know everything about it. And as a seller, your home will be represented and marketed to potential buyers far better than it ever could have been before. What we're doing that our competitors can't is we're adding an incredible amount of additional data fields to search, provide avatar-led tours of the homes, and also avatar-led backstories on what it's like living in the home and the area the area the home's located in. When interviewing.
Okay, wait.
Sorry.
You're 4 seconds over. This is a 1 minute pitch.
Yeah.
I was almost done.
He had one more sentence, that was it. But I know how it is.
Okay, so here is my immediate feedback, and you do get a chance to do this again when everybody else has gone, is you're giving me a little bit too much detail for just a 1 minute pitch. I like the fact that you're telling me that my life's going to be easier by using your AI, but you didn't go into, like, how are you going to make money? Is it going to cost me anything? Or are you taking it out of the commissions that the lister and the seller's agent get? Well, that is the same, but the buyer's agent. So I didn't understand how you were going to make money because you just didn't cover that part yet. And you should be able to, in just one sentence, tell me how big is the real estate market, which is huge. And then which part of the market are you going to attack first? Are you starting in Vegas? You starting in Southern California or all of California? Like in just one sentence, you could say, we're going to start in Vegas and then LA is our next market and then we're moving up California. And that would give me an idea that there's a lot of houses in that area and those are big markets to penetrate.
Our 3-minute pitch covers all that, but that's great feedback.
Okay, thank you. All right, so you get to, work on the consolidating what you were saying into a concise minute. All right, so let's go back to the list and see who else has signed up. Okay, Sean, are you ready? And people keep signing up. There's only 4 of you who have signed up so far. Okay, so Sean, I'm going to promote you now. Oh, all right. All right. So whenever you're ready, Sean, go ahead.
Okay. Hi, my name is Sean. I'm the founder CEO of Clarative. What we do is we make product management better by using AI. So, in product discovery, there is a problem where you ask your customers what they want to build. You say, yeah, I get it. And then you go to your developers, you say, okay, this is what the customer wants. And then they go, yeah, I get it. And then you go back after they built it to your customer. And then your customer goes, that's not what we talked about. You missed A, B, and you just built C. And that's the reason why we built Clarative. And with Clarative, we use AI to make the documentation automated so that you as a person can focus on the conversation and not on just writing notes. So this market we think is, this market is pretty big. AI is really big right now. According to our research, at least in the NLP segment, it's about $28 billion. We are going to target the product management, segment and specific for product discovery. So I'm stopping
okay.
because the time is.
Okay. All right. So a good lead in. I begin to understand what it is that you're doing. So the AI is this happening in your product discovery meeting with your client? You're meeting with the first time and you're trying to figure out what they want you to build. Is the AI like generating stuff as you're talking with them, or is it taking notes so that you can be a better listener?
It's actually, so our MVP is actually, let's say you have Zoom, like what we're using right now, and you guys are recording it.
Yeah.
What we do is we take the recording and analyze that recording after the meeting. So it's not real time.
Okay. And then from there, you're going to make a product specification sheet and
Exactly.
give that back to the
So
client.
we build solutions, we build action items, user stories, things like that from that initial conversation. And then what we can actually do is take those topics that was discussed and align it with all the different conversations. So let's say we talked about AI in this call, but we also talked about AI in 5 different calls. Within our platform, you just look at the AI topic and you can see all the different conversations that you had with customers, with stakeholders, with whoever that's associated. And it's all contextual. So our solution contextually aligns similarities and not just about like keywords. Hey, you talked about AI, but what is the meaning of the actual topic?
Okay, and the $28 billion that you quoted?
28 billion is the NLP segment. So our AI is like in the natural language processing for, I guess, the world.
All right, that's not your market.
That's not my market. No. That's our SAM. Our SOM is according to like around 330 something. I don't have the actual numbers in front of me, but I can provide that.
Okay, you're using AI as a tool to make you a better product developer. So your industry is people who help other people develop products. AI is a tool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the natural language processing part is just the type of tool that you're using to make you better at what you do. Your customers are still people who need things built.
Yeah. Yes. Or our customers are the ones that are building things. So it's actually like the software companies or product companies that are building these solutions to make sure that they're aligning with customer needs.
Okay, yeah, but you can't borrow the AI marketplace as your market.
Yeah.
Your market are the people who build other things. You're just supposed to be getting better by using AI
Got
and
it.
defining what they want.
Got it.
So it's just
And I
a
think
tool
that's
you're using.
you're 100% correct. That's one of the things that I'm having, I guess, a challenge with is really defining my tam sam sum, because like I have a whole bunch of research, but I don't know which ones to use because I don't know how like which ones is really relevant for like my market or my business. So
Yeah, so you shouldn't be doing market research on AI at all. Your
mhm,
customer is the company that's building something. So
got
you should even think of AI as your secret sauce that makes your speed to getting them the product they want faster. That's your secret sauce.
Got it. So
But it's not
it's
the
more
market.
about the let's say the small and medium sized businesses or software development companies. That's the market that's building something, and
Yes.
we're just and then how big is that market? Okay, yeah, I get it.
Okay. Good. I hope that was helpful.
It was
Um,
it helps me craft that part of the slide because that was the one thing that I really didn't have an idea on which like because again like I have all of these research, but how do you like which ones do I actually use?
right. You use the one that most closely aligns with who you're going to sell to.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right, David, you are up next. I'm going to click the allow to talk button. So let's hear how it's working.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
I
Testing.
hear you, David. Yes, good.
Super. Okay. Let me know when to start.
Okay, whenever you're ready, I'm gonna, let you introduce yourself and your company, and then I'll start the timer.
Good to go. My name's Dave Schwader. I'm president and CEO of Shapeshift Ciphers LLC. Today's ransomware pandemic threatens global commerce and stability. The estimated 2024 global cybercrime damage estimates are $9.5 trillion through a variety of destruction, damage, destruction, stolen things, investigations, reputational loss, and so on. The solution is ubiquitous data protection. The only practical approach uses shapeshift ciphers. Shapeshift ciphers have a multitude of benefits, including encryption strength, performance, simplicity, and a host of others that due diligence will verify. The important thing is that shapeshift ciphers are evolutionary, disruptive, complement, and fortify international standards. We're going to be selling annual value price tiered technology subscriptions, initial segments to gaming, financial, hospitals, and critical infrastructure. The 2021 global cybersecurity TAM was $2 trillion. We believe that the SAM.
Okay, you're over by 7 seconds. All right, so if you are ever entering a pitch competition where it's timed, you need to practice, 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 and you have to be, I would say, probably 5 seconds early for that, whatever that time limit is. Generally speaking, when you're pitching, you're going to be nervous, you're going to be talking faster, but you should also focus on slowing down a little bit. So if you can get under your time limit for several attempts, 4 or 5 attempts, then you should be pretty good to go. All right, so David, I like the name Shapeshift Ciphers because it tells me that whatever protection you're using is changing and it's not static all the time.
Exactly.
And so that's good because then it's hard to hit a moving target. What I didn't get from you until the very end was who your first customers were going to be, which was gaming. You said financial, hospitals, and one other thing that I didn't write down fast enough.
Critical infrastructure.
Critical infrastructure. Okay, critical infrastructure is government, right? So that's going to be a long sales cycle. So you probably want to focus on the ones, well, MGM had the problem recently. So you can, I'm betting, not much of a gambler, but I'm betting that they are looking into all sorts of solutions for what they can do to prevent that ransomware situation again. And so that is a very likely place to start. So when you said $2 trillion in TAM, was that in your first several business sectors, or are you looking at it just in like safety?
That's a McKinsey and Company statement. That is global cybersecurity. There's multiple categories of which we fit many of them, and we only have a fractional revenue opportunity in any given one.
Oh, okay. So you are aggregating these even though you know you have only a fractional opportunity?
Yeah, if you aggregate them, they go somewhere between 600 billion and 1 trillion. And so I called it 50 billion just to be on the low side. And based on a $225,000 annual subscription for like a gaming, we believe we would hit a sum of like 5 million. And that's the last slide.
And how long? The 5 million in how long?
Probably three years.
3 years. Okay. All right. You could probably get to your point and you could dumb it down a little bit more, I would say, David, in general, for just 1 minute.
Yes. Didn't get to the 7 patent filings we have, one of which is issuing and is filed internationally. But yeah.
All right. That's cool. All right. Let's see. Who else has signed up?
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, David. Still only 4 people have signed up. So Michelle, I got to meet you this morning. So that was nice. Are you ready? Oh, you don't have to be super ready. All right, you are signed in here. All right, I'm just like allowed to talk. I am going to, since we're in the same room together, I'm going to mute my microphone so they'll hear feedback.
Hi, I'm Michelle Grinnell, one of the co-founders to Nightlife Technologies. Nightlife Technologies is like OpenTable teamed up with Ticketmaster, used AI to tackle problems in the nightlife industry. It's a two-sided marketplace helping the nightlife consumers and venue staff that serves them, from finding events, booking general admission like a monthly entry pass to optimize the drinking time of consumers. On a venue front, we plug into POS systems at the venues, using their existing data, and through algorithms help the venue run more efficiently, pricing, inventory management, staff needs, and others. In the USA, there are over 69,000 venues doing an estimated $36.4 billion. We make revenue by charging nominal fees to consumers and other future revenue opportunities. We are starting with Atlanta, as one of my co-founders is DJ MLK, the rapper T.I.'s DJ, who is an Atlanta resident and works the market there strong.
All right, so your timing was good. You had a few seconds extra. All right, so I was getting a picture that you were helping restaurants and bars, but then you told me that you were charging fees to consumers.
Yes.
But you also said you were going to get the data, existing data from the POS systems for the bars. So to me, I'm having a disconnect
Okay.
between why you're charging the consumer
Okay.
and why the business, if you're making something for the consumer, why is the business letting you have access to their data?
Okay. So they're letting us have access to that data because today, how most venues function, they don't have access to that. A lot of venues use promoters. So the promoters actually have access to that data, but venues do not. So we're trying to also help them put that back into their hands and being able to have that data.
Let me make sure that they can the audience hear Michelle speaking?
Do you want me to jump in?
Yes, you can.
1 second.
Now you want to
Yes,
join the
okay.
party.
They're saying yes. They can hear you.
Okay,
Okay.
because right now, when you talk about general admission or bottle service in nightclubs in the US, when they price it, it's unlike restaurants where there's actually a minimum spend. And so when they come up with the pricing right now, if you go to Dre's, the Cromwell, they pull the pricing out of thin air for what they're going to charge for each table and section. Where what we're trying to do is access their point of sale system like a Toast or whatnot, and sit there and take their historical data and say, okay, the last time you had TI over at Dre's, this is what you sold, this is what your regular pricing was, this is, we even can get into what the tables, individual tables did and what frequency they do. And so by taking that information, valuing it the next time he's coming in a month, they can be able to appropriately price tables a little bit better from that data end of the system. It also helps with understanding the reason it's more charging consumers is from the consumer end, we're building a consumer side app that they can discover events, be able to book their general admission and bottle service right there on that. That's why it's the two-sided marketplace. And so by having both data of that, that's where we're closer to probably a Resi or Ticketmaster of how they're doing things. And by charging the consumer, you know, if they're going in general admission for $40 for ladies, charging a $2 fee on top of it, they're already user trained to pay that fee and walk in. So that's how we're bringing in revenue. But when we're talking about getting venues, it's a full service end to end, because with the AI, I can not only take the data that the venue does, but the more venues I have in our system, I can also take the habits that consumer's using. So maybe it's a consumer that used our service in Atlanta and partied in Atlanta, but visiting here, Dre's wouldn't know anything about that consumer today, but we would actually have that information and be able to help them understand more about that consumer and predict what they're going to order in their habits.
That would be the same network. So
Yes.
all of your customers would be able to share that
Yep.
information. All right. So the topic tonight is pitch practice.
Sure.
And so,
I was just trying to defend the questions that.
right, but what you have to do is try to fit this information
Into
into
1 minute.
a 1 minute
Sure.
presentation. So I didn't get the double-sided marketplace aspect of it. I just thought that you weren't sure who your customer was. So you're going to be charging the venue as well, because no, you're not.
No.
Oh, all right. But this is to their advantage. If they
Mhm.
know that they are not charging consistently on, I mean, it's like surge pricing, right? In a nightclub, if it's very busy and you want a bottle, it's going to cost you more than if you're the only table in the place, right? So that makes sense to me. But being able to offer them the information about this party came last time, it was during a surge period, and this is what you charge them. For them to have all of that information at their fingertips, that's valuable to them too. And usually with a double-sided marketplace, you're taking a percentage of the transaction that they're making together, but I think you could be charging both sides. I think it would be beneficial to the customer to know too, that if I'm going to Dre's, the last time I went, I paid, but it was Friday night at 11 versus,
Right.
okay, now we're going there on a Wednesday and it's only 9. So I would expect it to be less, right? But your data will show me that.
Absolutely. And with the demand and everything, it is valuable, but what we're doing is we're exchanging them coming on our system for us exclusively doing all the reservations and all their general admission. So it kind of force adapts the consumer to use your product very much like a Ticketmaster. This is similar to more of a Ticketmaster model, where like with the NFL and Ticketmaster create a partnership, and the only way for the original person to purchase is through Ticketmaster. You can resell on StubHub or whatnot, but with Ticketmaster, somebody originally had to purchase through there.
Okay.
So that's kind of why we went with.
You know, everybody hates Ticketmaster, right?
For the huge fee, yes. But if it's a small fee, when we've tested it out and with small fees, people are throwing a fit about it. They're more.
The consumer.
The consumer, because I mean,
Because
you think about it from like a use case, a person in New York at winter time, they want to get out of their Uber right into the club. They don't want to sit out there in the cold. So would you pay a couple extra dollars to already have it on your phone with the QR code to walk right in?
yes,
There you go.
yes.
That's what.
Okay, well, It'll be interesting to see where you gain traction first, on the consumer side or on the bar side.
Mhm,
Okay.
definitely.
ATLOOMYMAMEISKRIS Oh, that's right. Human beings don't communicate by spelling at each other. We communicate by using whole words and thoughts and numbers. Why are we still spelling at our technology in order to communicate with it? I want to offer you a skill that I have been a profession for the last 30 years. I'm a professional court reporter. I want to teach stenography, not to build an army of court reporters, but the actual skill. Using a different keyboard that can make humanity 5 times faster in every single thing that you do that uses a keyboard. Isn't the idea of innovation to make humans better? We are very reluctant to make ourselves better, but we're very willing to accept any amount of technology that comes our way to make our lives better. We have the ability with one simple keyboard. Don't look at my screen because I broke it yesterday. The stenographic keyboard, it's only 22 keys and a number bar. It never changes. You never need to buy a new keyboard and then 150 more new keys. This is it.
Okay, so you're over time now. All right, so I'm very intrigued by this. Now, if that's the purpose of your 1 minute pitch, is to get somebody to say, tell me more, then you've done that. You haven't covered information about like how the market might be,
It's very
how much this might cost, and your service then is to teach people how to use these center keyboards.
And produce much more cost-effective keyboards, because that's one of the main 3 reasons why it's not gone mainstream. The very, very most reason is cost. This machine right here.
Is this little machine. Can people see the machine? It's not huge.
And I broke it, so please don't look at my screen.
But look how tiny.
So this little model right here is probably top of the line. It is. It's the Lumi 2. It's $6,000.
Wow.
The software that I use that goes with it is another 4,000. So, you know, it's not real convenient for people who want to learn it. And you want to go online and you can learn it, and there's tons of schools, and it's very expensive, and it needs to be taught in a way that makes sense.
Okay.
And it doesn't make sense right. It just doesn't.
And is that the problem you're solving then?
I'm solving the how and the why.
Okay.
It's just not been done.
So are you going to make less expensive?
Very much so.
Oh,
Because this is a professional writer. It has software that does things that, you know, like I can control a whole courtroom. I can put in speakers and colloquy and just all kinds of things that I need to do. I can have 4 people in that room writing with me, backing me up and editing my work as it's coming out. So it's perfect.
All right, so that is a really robust machine.
This is for a professional.
Okay, and so
If you wanted just a keyboard, it's
Yeah.
just 23 little keys and a number bar. And there's lots of people that are making them because they're hobbyists and they want this skill. They want to use it, but they don't want to spend $10,000 on equipment and then go to a really expensive school. And then it takes a while. It's like the violin. They're not going to pick it up today and be like, it doesn't work like that. It's something you have to be. So why not teach it to kids as an elective in school? Because then they use it through school. Can you imagine coding with a stenographic keyboard? I think 5 times faster, and everything I do, BIM, don't need that. Everything's computerized. It goes 4 million plus little PDFs. Everything I click pops up on the screen, and it could be a whole page. It could be orange, whatever I want it to be. It's just
okay. All right. So
it's a very untapped skill, and I've heard if you want to teach something that doesn't have the words AI attached to it, you better come with something solid, and this is very, very solid.
okay. Just the coders being able to be that much faster would make everything much more efficient. Okay. If you guys have questions for any of the presenters, you can put them in the chat. If they're for our 2 people that are in the room here, I will ask them. But now we get to listen to Bruce's new and improved real estate pitch.
This will be Nick talking again.
Oh my goodness. How did that break? Did you drop it?
I'm just gonna use it. I got home Friday night. I put it on into my bed.
Oh.
And Monday, and I was like, ah!
Were you able to work that day?
Yeah, it was.
It's just like having a broken phone screen. All right.
So this would
So
be Nick,
Bruce, I see that you are unmuted and it looks like you're ready.
Nick will be presenting
So,
for that 1
whenever
minute.
you're ready, just go right ahead.
All right, so once again, my name is Nicholas Kuhn, co-founder of our project to transform our existing luxury real estate brokerage to be powered by AI. So AI allows us to revolutionize industries that are seriously underserving the consumer. This now includes real estate. Our AI avatar, available 24/7, will be the best real estate advisor you've ever had. It will get you to the point as a buyer to be able to walk into a home and already know everything about it. As a seller, your home will be presented and marketed to potential buyers far better than it ever could have been before. We're starting in Las Vegas and expanding to 16 cities over 3 years. The TAM, which is the US housing market, is 3.81 trillion. And of those 16 cities that we're expanding to, our SAM is 47.2 billion for the luxury home market, and the SOM is 2.36 billion. Assuming a $2 million raise, we have a 9-month runway to profitability and anticipate our approximate net income at the end of year 3 to be 26 million. Revenue will consist of commissions, tech fees, transaction fees, and predictive seller leads. And we'd like you to join us on this journey as a potential investor.
Oh, all right. So that was really good timing. And I feel like I got a lot more out of it this time. I got that there's an avatar advisor, but I still didn't get how are you making money?
Yes. So in addition to commissions, so we're staying in the luxury home market. So a large part of it is commissions. Each transaction will also have tech fees and transaction fees to also support our technology. Commissions, instead of charging 6%, we're only charging 4%. So 3% for the seller, 1% strictly for our AI services, and then it's up to the seller if they want to provide that additional revenue to the additional commission to the buyer agent. And then also we'll have predictive seller leads, which we'll be able to charge a rate for as well.
So on the predictive seller leads, you're assuming that you have buyers that want something and
So
they're looking for a home.
actually predictive seller leads will be, is Bruce, will be actually analyzing sellers for the potential of listing their home so that our luxury agents that work for us will be able to go seek them to list with us.
Because you already have an active buyer. So this means that you're analyzing like the homes that are out there that meet the requirements of your buyers, and then you would.
And also homes that are likely, so like if somebody we know somebody bought a home 3 years ago and they're estimated to have gained so much appreciation and equity, then just with AI and the way that we're able to gather and evaluate data, we're able to present those different homes to our agents to be able to market to.
Okay, that's interesting.
And additional to that, our AI services, we know, according to a couple of people who promoted us, we didn't know what was going on at your conferences, will attract a lot of buyers using our services. So that'll be buyer prospects that we didn't factor into the revenues.
And so what is the predictive seller fee?
So the predictive seller will mean that we'll actually be trying to attract a listing. And for our listings, we're actually giving them services no competitor offers today.
So it sounds like the predictive stuff is just making your life easier.
Well, the predictive will give us a better shot at identifying in a luxury home neighborhood, for example, those sellers we believe are potential prospects for listing their home.
And then that'll be passed on to our own agents.
So they'll get the leads, the
Yes.
leads.
Yes.
And they'll have to go close the deal. Okay, so you're using the predictive stuff. As a revenue stream, I get it that those are sales that you might not have gotten, those listings that you might not have gotten before.
Correct.
I don't know that you could.
So the commission split will also be different for those, whereas a traditional commission split might be 80-20. We'd probably do something like 60-40 since it's an easier lead for them and it's more accurate than like what Zillow would give them, for example.
Yeah, we don't want you to be confused that the predictive seller lead is the only source of getting a seller revenue for a commission for selling their home. We're going to be doing extensive marketing and branding so that the sellers will realize that we should be their choice for listing their home.
Okay, so again, you're using AI to enhance your ability to attract buyers and also find sellers. Yeah.
Correct. And for the sellers that come to us, we're actually offering 3 services that we don't see any other brokerage offering, which the AI avatar will be involved in.
Okay, so you're developing this AI avatar and you're going to own it.
I'm sorry, you're breaking up, Maggie.
You're developing the AI avatar, setting its algorithms and its understanding of the marketplace.
So,
Yes.
So yes, partially. You'll see in my 3-minute pitch if you want us to show it today. We actually have a partner that does the AI, the tools to the table, and our software has all of the data and the customer information and the searches and all that kind of stuff. So the two combined, they do the user interface, if you would, and the large language model and the learning part for the avatar. But we provided all the data to be able to for it to operate with.
Okay, so but this is not the product. You are just enhancing your function as realtors through this AI, and you're changing the commissions a little bit. You're not trying to package up this avatar and sell it to other brokerages?
No, it will be strictly us promoting our brokerage across 16 cities for the luxury market.
Mm.
And we're
So how is an investor going to get involved in that?
Because as we go into these markets and because we have ways the AI avatar we think will be superior to what you have available today, an investor would be funding us to allow us to grow into the 16 cities beyond Las Vegas.
Okay, but how are they going to get their money back?
Well, we already show profitability even in the first year, and we have a 3-year opportunity for exit unless we decide to go ahead and do a Series A, which we already have the pro forma created for that.
But how are you going to sell this? Like, how is that investor going to get an exit?
Well, we would do either, well, we hopefully would have an investment with a safe, for example, and we would be growing. And I think we're aiming for 5% market share at minimum in each city we go into. And they would see the revenues growing and the profitability.
So they're really just sharing in your increased sales.
Yes.
Okay, so they're more like a real estate partner.
To a good degree, they are. I mean, they actually would be joining us. We could do this on our own, but it's slow, and we already self-funded everything to date. But that said, their money would help us grow to more cities, and of course, they'd be sharing in the profitability.
Okay, so it's just not traditional venture capital type of investment where as you increase your sales, you're going to make your company scale and hire more people, and you're going to see a 30x return. It sounds like with you guys, they're going to be sharing in the profits along the way.
No, that's wrong. The thing is, we think our valuation will dramatically increase, but due to in growing market share and against traditional brokerages that don't have what we have today. And for them to do it, they'd have to totally redesign their entire business model, and they're publicly traded. So we think it's a great opportunity, and it is different. It's hard to understand in the beginning, but what we're doing is achieving something that's so different with the avatar. This avatar will actually get to know you, and it will start suggesting properties to you using the AI technology. So
you don't want to market the avatar. I want to sell the avatar. I want to sell it to all the real estate brokerages.
Well, you wouldn't be that easy because the avatar is just the tool part. You don't have the data, the things that we've developed over the years for about 300 valuation, about 300 million of our software. All the real estate data we've dealt over the years, they would have to have all of that. And most of these brokerages have outside vendors doing that. They don't have a software company. It's internal to their brokerage.
Well, and also additionally, the goal isn't to hire a bunch of people. The avatar is going to for a better use of words, it's going to be replacing a lot of people, the ones that just aren't very good at their job. So it's going to be scaled, and the goal is to go IPO, but we're not really hiring people. We're replacing the need for a lot of positions with the AI, and that's what we're growing as a company. And eventually we want it to be one of, an IPO company that like Compass or EXP that can be publicly traded. It's just, we have a different type of business model that, if they were to take our business model on, they have too many people, they wouldn't be able to implement it. So that's why we're doing this by ourselves and not necessarily selling it to other real estate brokerages.
Okay, there's a question in the room. Okay, so Michelle is suggesting that you get in touch with Tim, her partner, who is very familiar with the industry and knows the founder of Remax. But
Yeah,
I don't know what his tech background is, though.
Yeah, for us, we think the only investors be interested in us will be real estate tech investors, because it takes that to understand what we're doing. And so that's the type of investor we're actually seeking with this. Our company, by the way, will never have brick and mortar offices, and we will not have hundreds of agents per city. We're totally virtual, always have been. That's a huge ROI for the investor. And secondly, we believe we can do 20 to 40 agents per city and actually make substantial profits, because AI is a highly efficient tool.
Okay. All right. Does anybody else want to pitch? I haven't looked at the form lately. And if not, do you guys have a 3-minute with slides? Okay. I know that you don't. Okay, so Michelle has slides and Bruce has slides, and David, do you have slides?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. Who is game? People have to vote now. Who is game for, and you have to do it in chat, who's game for listening to a 3-minute pitch from all of them? Now that we understand what their businesses are. Put it in chat if you want to. Yes, Mary Jane does. Tom, how about you? Alex? Tasha? David's all in.
That's it.
All right, so let's do that. It could be instructive. We're not going to talk as long after each one now, since we do understand the business, and the critique will be mostly about how well you covered the different aspects that we wanted to hear on in your 3-minute pitch. Let me change the timer first. David, I still have you showing on my thing. We're going to go with you first.
You were cutting out there.
I was cutting out. David's going first, and okay. Great. So Tasha's business partner is going to do the pitch next time. We do have 2 more sessions like this. They will be more traditional, where we cover it the way I said we were going to do it in the beginning, but didn't do it that way. And so David, I'm going to have you go first. The feedback's going to be quicker because now we understand what each of you is doing. So the feedback is going to be more about how well you covered that in the 3 minutes. And you guys will need to share your slides. You should be able to. Okay, so David, why don't you start sharing? So we'll go David and then Michelle and then Bruce. Oh, yeah, Bruce and Nick. And sorry, Steve doesn't have slides.
I have slides, I'm just not connected like that.
Oh, all right, all right. Have you gone to GoPage 3? So first you need to get on the internet, and then I'll give you the link.
Yeah, I'm on. I must have just deleted the email.
Okay, the email with the calendar invitation? All right, sorry, David, hang on one second.
No problem. No problem. So are we going to do screen share?
Yes, we are. So go ahead and get set up, and I'll tell you when. Is it Christine Flipper?
Yes.
Okay, so you do have the, let me just send it to you again. So David, whenever you're ready.
Okay. I'm Dave Schwaderer, CEO of Shapeshift Ciphers LLC. And today, ransomware pandemic threatens global commerce and stability. The estimated global cost for cybercrime is $9.5 trillion a year through various losses of various forms. Consider just one example, should hit home. MGM Grand hit with a ransomware attack, lost $100 million in revenue by not paying. Caesars hit with the same attack, paid $15 million to resolve it. There are serious liabilities when any such breach happens. There are numerous investigations, federal, state, even international, with selective enforcement, with follow-on draconian regulatory oversight of predatory class action lawsuits filed by opportunistic law firms. And oh, by the way, you can go to prison for having a data breach under your responsibility. On top of that is the emerging quantum computing threats that weaken or threaten every existing mathematics-based encryption scheme. But what if a ubiquitous data protection method existed that stalemates all present and future ransomware attacks? It does. It's called shapeshift. Shapeshift differentiation, conventional ciphers that are protecting your data now use keys to lock up data. Shapeshift uses processes to lock up data. Conventional ciphers have lightweight unpredictability. Shapeshift has unprecedented unpredictability. Conventional has heavyweight processing. Shapeshift has very lightweight processing. There are numerous benefits, including provably unsurpassed strength and performance, as well as simplicity. The important thing is that shapeshift ciphers are evolutionary, disruptive from the Clayton-Christensen definition. They complement and fortify international standards. Here is a McKinsey assessment for the 2021 global cybersecurity TAM, $2 trillion. The categories with the green check marks are the ones where shapeshift can contribute. Since encryption is only a fraction of cybersecurity costs, we believe it's on the order of 10%. The SAM for our opportunity globally is $50 billion, but we will be going nationally, so our SAM, we believe, is on the order of $5 million. What we're going to sell are annual value-priced tiered subscriptions in initial target segments for gaming, financial institutions, and hospitals. We will have minimal expenses, a very lean development team in different operating systems and different processor bases. Approximately 30,000 lines of programming code, which is very small. We will have distributed sales partners on commission contract programmers we will focus on being asset light with zero debt. We have 7 patents. Yes.
You got to stop. Okay, so you went about 6 seconds over before I stopped you. And you spent about half of your time talking about the problem.
Okay.
And I would say that the problem is readily identifiable. I mean, you gave it context with how much it's costing the companies, but even if people don't know precisely how big a problem it is, we know it exists and that it is a problem. And I don't think you need to spend that much time talking about the problem.
Okay.
You also don't need to spend as much time talking about how yours is different. You could, in one sentence, say, it's lighter, it shifts more often, it is more efficient, and you're just trying to get to the next meeting, right? So you just need to make it enticing enough and use enough technical jargon that they know you're serious, but not so much about the Clayton whatever standard and the lean team and these things that are important to you, but not necessarily important to an investor. And you may say, okay, well, they want to know that we're a lean team and that we're not going to waste their. Yes, but we need to cover more information. I still don't know what you're charging.
Super. Okay, you were cutting out a little bit, but I think I got it.
Okay. All right, great. All right. Did I say you were going to go next, Michelle? Are you ready? No? Okay, so let's see. I promoted you, so are you able to share? Thanks, David.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, so whenever you're ready, and it's the same deal, you're gonna say your name and company, and then I'll start the 3-minute time.
Hi, I'm Bruce Hyatt, broker, owner of Luxury Realty Group, and we're actually co-sponsor of changing our brokerage into an AI innovative brokerage. What's interesting, what drove us to us is the fact that so many of our customers over the years, especially the higher end luxury home customers, have complained so much that portals like Zillow and typical real estate websites, they can't find or see the features of these higher end homes. Certainly they don't talk about the backstories that went into their creation, and they certainly don't talk about all the features you could search for, because you can't search for them, like a built-in 48-inch refrigerator. It's really frustrating to them. Our overall market, mentioned in the 1-minute pitch, was 3.8 trillion for the U.S. housing market, and our targeted 16 cities are 47 billion for the SAM, and that comes from the Luxury Institute, which we're a member of. And the 16 cities we've targeted, we're very confident we can get the 5% market share. That represents 2.36 billion for the SAM. What's going to happen? We're going to be going from basically with the left, what you see, was so traditional and used to the right. And this avatar is going to become your best friend, your best advisor. Is going to get to learn you, know who you are, learn your requirements. Is going to start giving you information. You're going to be using the avatar, and it's just one example of many, because our prototype under development, that's going to be able to give you properties and show you a lot of information about it. But the avatar is also going to start advising you on properties you might want to consider as it learns to know you better and better. Our history has gone from 2004 when we created the brokerage to now through the 17 when we created our software company, still using the software, to transforming it to Telega AI to be able to interface with the AI tools. We've also done patent applications. We have a lot of trademarks and a lot of things as well. To help simplify and better understand this, the bottom is Luxury Realty Group with our sellers and our buyers. Above it is our software that has all the information in it, the searches, the count information, so much stuff there, saving their search history. And it then interfaces with the tools from Core AI, our partner, who does the AI tools part of it. And then at the top, of course, the avatar. Our overall revenues for the first 4 cities we launched, and then having a $2 million raise, our assumption, which is 9 months to profitability. And then as we get up to the 16 cities, our revenue goes up to 47 million. Our overall team is myself, Nicholas Kuhn, who you've heard earlier as a co-founder, and Mike Morris, our CTO. We have a wide variety of people's backgrounds and all kinds of different disciplines that are well suited for this project. Our competitor landscape is very interesting. We're the only ones doing the extensive AI. The rest are doing the low-hanging fruit approaches with ChatGPT primarily, and Sotheby's actually is doing nothing to date. Our use of 2 million goes across from patent lawyers to real estate to brokers, et cetera. No brick and mortar offices, all virtual. And I thank you very much for listening. And the QR code will take you to our prototype site, which is password protected for the moment. We will release it here in about the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay. That was a lot of information in 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's hard putting it together in 3. I'm used to 5 when I pitched elsewhere.
Okay, but I don't think that there was a very good description of how you're going to make money. You just said that you were going to like grow and you're going to make this money, but again, the business model describing, yeah.
We have a lot of appendix financials that get into these questions. So to show you where the money is coming from and what our profitability looks like. And so it is coming from the sales and commissions. And we have forecasted typically 8 transactions per agent per year to start, which is pretty conservative actually. Mm-hmm. And we then have this, expenses from there. That gives you a little bit better perspective.
It does, but I think you really should be covering the business model, even if you're just going to say, we changed the commission schedule. There's the AI fee is 1%.
It's hard to hear you, Maggie. You're breaking up. Sorry.
I am sorry too. Just covering the business model in that you're changing the commission schedule and describe that, because anybody who's familiar with real estate knows what the usual stuff is.
Right.
Like, you wouldn't have to spend a ton of time on it, but at least you're saying, okay, it is coming from the commissions.
So we'll be charging like 4% commission, of which 3% will be the agent will get roughly 80% of that, and 20% goes to the brokerage. Then the other 1% goes directly to the company. So that's how the revenue is coming in, how it's been calculated.
Okay, and I think that that's interesting that that 1% is going to the company to pay for the AI.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I think you still have a little bit more work to do, but if you're used to being able to cover that in a 5-minute pitch, then you're probably in pretty good shape.
Yeah, I usually do. Sorry, it's just three was. Today. It was like, what slides could I got to take out to get the 3 minutes?
Yep.
I have a lot of I have a lot of appendix slides.
Okay, so Nightlife Technologies is revolutionizing nightlife one experience at a time. Venue operators grapple with the inefficiencies, dynamic pricing dilemmas, and inventory management. Consumers desire a more seamless and exhilarating nightlife experience, and current platforms are not adept to meeting those intricate demands. Leveraging state-of-the-art AI technology, our platform optimizes operations for venue staff while promising a streamlined, enhanced experience for patrons. Why we stand out. Unlike other platforms, reservations, event ticketing, and alcohol delivery platforms, offering an unparalleled and encompassing solution. Here are some of our industry success stories. One like Resi, OpenTable, or Drizzly. Drizzly was acquired for 1.1 billion. And then moving on, here is really where we make our money. Basic service for venues that maybe don't have, general admission or bottle service. Will charge a monthly fee of $99 where they can list their unlimited number of events. For full service, this is where nightlife truly gives the experience. They can enjoy complimentary listing of events, shifting the minimal cost to consumers who are looking for that elevated nightlife experience. General admission, a modest fee of $2. Ensuring a smooth entry experience. Bottle service reservations, a tiered fee structure, and it starts from $5 going up to $20, offering consumers premium services and an unforgettable night out. Other opportunities for additional revenue streams are exploring avenues of advertisement and partnership opportunities, creating a more dynamic platform and promising continuous growth. As far as our market potential, in the United States, we're talking about $36.4 billion on a global evaluation of $95.33 billion in 2002, with projections climbing to $124.57 billion. Moving on, here are some of our competitors in the industry. They specialize in some of what we do, but they are very different as well. Some are ticketing and only ticketing, some are back-end CRMs as well. And then some differentiating factors. AI-driven pricing can definitely help with smarter dynamic pricing for the venues. Staffing needs, it definitely helps them with enhancing optimal staffing levels throughout their night and throughout their events. Talent booking, revolutionizing the talent booking process, ensuring top-notch entertainment. AI-driven venue performance and prediction, offering insights and predictions on venue performances, and helping them make more decision and strategy planning. Personal recommendations as well, leveraging AI to deliver industry. It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah.
I would say in this 3-minute pitch that you didn't really have time to talk about competitors.
Right.
If you went into a lot of detail on stuff that really wasn't that necessary.
You're just
Okay.
reading slide by slide in this. You can't do.
Okay.
Yeah, your secondary revenue streams, they don't need to be included in a 3-minute pitch.
Okay. Okay.
Not 3-minute pitch.
Okay.
And again, like this time, you are charging the venues like $99 a month.
For the basics. Yeah.
For the basics, okay, so
Yeah.
you are charging.
Mhm.
Good.
Okay.
That savings is valuable. And you're charging the individual customer. It was $2 for a reservation though. Is there a monthly fee for a user?
So we are looking at doing different things like a DoorDash pass kind of model for the person who frequents nightlife on a regular basis. We aren't sure on what price to charge yet. Something we're gonna figure out. But yeah, we are looking at certain things like that that we're trying to explore.
Okay, good. I'm glad that you are charging these funds. All right, can you stop sharing?
Yes.
Thank you. And I did a pitch next one-on-one earlier today, so I'm not sure if I said this to this group, but the more you practice with your timing, the better you're gonna get at it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. My name is Chris Fluker. As I said earlier, I'm a professional stenographer, a court reporter. I want to teach stenography in schools because I think it's a very important skill. What we have right now, human manual input. Manual, I say, very important. We have basically the typewriter. We've had it for 70 plus years. We've never bothered to do anything about it. It types one letter at a time, one number at a time, drastically slowing down the input process. Why is it that we have improved upon every single component of our computers, but for our keyboards? How long do we intend to saddle our future generations with basically this keyboard that does nothing but one letter at a time, one word at a time? Doesn't make any sense. But what about voice to text? We all love our voice to text apps. They're very useful, but in their own realm. It's apples and oranges to me. Voice is voice, manual is hands. There's a very big difference in the two forms of technology. I don't think losing manual input is a very good idea. It's just, we're just not to the point with the QWERTY keyboard where it's able to keep up with our technology anymore. We're stacking keyboards on top of each other, trying to make the QWERTY keyboard do exactly what the stenographic keyboard already does. Let's talk about board. It'd be great if I could show it to you, but it's been proven 5 to 6 times faster than any QWERTY key. You can do anything on a QWERTY keyboard. The words are written phonetically. I had a thing talking. My slide started talking. Sorry. I gotta figure out how to turn that off real quick. That's okay. That's the only one that has talking to it. And if it's so great, and this technology already exists, why does hardly anyone know how to use it? Well, there's 3 main reasons. The way it's always been marketed. How many people on this chat and in this room actually know what stenography is and what it does? Not too many. The way it's portrayed in the media, it's always just, some random old lady sitting off to the side of a courtroom with a cat in her lap maybe, and there's paper coming out of her machine. It doesn't make any sense. That's not the technology that I use on a daily basis. It's very advanced. We are the most advanced people in the courtroom. And the most important is cost. It's ridiculously expensive. The machines are expensive, the software is expensive, and it really deters people from learning it. Not to mention the way it's taught, it's a very redundant skill, like learning a musical instrument. You have to put a lot of practice in. That's why it makes the most sense to teach it to children in schools when they're younger. Instead of just a QWERTY keyboard, give them a keyboard that makes sense for their future. The cost difference on these stenography is just gigantic. You can do this right here. This is a hobbyist keyboard, sells for about $100 to $200. They're made by people all over the place who want to use this technology, but don't want to pay the huge price for it. In comparison to my, I'm done. Dang, okay, I almost got there.
Yes. So you talked too long about the problem, almost 2 whole minutes on the problem. And so I can see that you're passionate about this, but we have to make it, I would like to snake oil out of you.
Okay.
Snake oil salesman. What would you say if I could make you X times more efficient? That you could get your work done in this amount of time. You would be saving the $38 an hour person would be saving this much money over a year because they can do this. But we didn't get into the solution too much. I mean, yes, the idea is lovely that you would teach children at a young age because they're very malleable and they could learn things quickly. But we've had Dvorak keyboards for a long time. What percentage of the users will use that?
Right.
No.
I don't know the percentage of that.
That'd be an interesting stat just to keep in the back of your.
I mean, there are already people using this to code now. It's already being done.
Okay.
Yes, Plover is an open source website for free stenography.
Okay.
And you can go on it with this keyboard that's designed for Plover and learn it. But how come there's still people not? It's very hard to learn. And if it's not taught the correct way, it's just boring and you quit.
Way to teach this.
Absolutely. With a
Yeah. Sales. I
and I can do it when it's hooked up with an HDMI to a thing and I'm writing and I'm talking and it's like, whoa, and people see it and they're like, it's hard to do like this. That's why I kind of wanted to wait until we got to a situation where people could watch me because it's kind of mind blowing watching it happen.
then bring it next time.
Okay.
Next time we're doing, I think it's December 12th.
Okay.
Want to bring it back?
I think I'm going to bring a colleague too, so they can talk right while I talk. It's really neat.
Great. To get to like, how are we going to make money?
Okay. My plan is to put it into school districts. I want to make it free for every single child in a school district. I know, but there's all kinds of funding to fund, especially tech, especially language. $10 a month is what I would charge people outside of schools. So if I take this home, anybody that has kids, everyone in the class, and then the whole house is going to want one. Every child walking around the school is going to want one. They're going to come in different colors and different sizes and wireless and spread apart. And there's so many options for different keyboards. You can roll them up, stick them in your pocket. I mean, why not?
All right, yeah. Then you may actually be a nonprofit organization.
No. These keyboards cost money, a lot of money. I mean, I plan on selling them. Every child needs one. Every child learning it needs one, and they're going to need it to keep it. It's not going to stay at school. You have to have your own, or you're not going to learn.
Right.
So that's every child's brother and sister. Then their parents want to learn, and from there goes the snowball.
Oh.
And every time I've ever been in a school, kids just are climbing on me. I'm going to play with that. Write my name. It's just they're very interested in it. The problem has been the cost. How do you teach it in a way that makes sense? My idea is to build an website of all animation. Put the entire school in the website. You sign in, pick a character, get your key color of your keyboard, and then you go learn in a way that makes sense. Games and fun. You don't want to watch 4 people that look like me with a light board over their head going rat, bat, cat, fat. No, it's make it fun. Make rain come down. Make the characters move. Yes.
Can you?
No, I need help. That's where I'm trying to find help. I'm trying to build this company to make it happen. I'm not where you guys are. I don't have all that stuff already done. This is very hard to describe to people. And my thing is twofold. It's not just keyboards and it's not just the app. It won't work with one or the other. I can go all day with like, look at my stenography app. And who's going to use it if I don't get it into schools? That's the whole point. Because if kids have a chance to learn it, they're going to want to learn it. My aim is VR, so.
You can find somebody that actually uses stenography.
Oh, I do.
A software engineer that wants to work with you.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I've been trying to do. And I thought I had somebody, and then they kind of ghosted me because they don't understand stenography. My plan is I'm going to make a little QR code and I'm going to start teaching free stenography classes and I'm going to wear it on my shirt. And then people can stand me and then, hey, join my classes. That's the only way to get all this information out that people don't know what it is.
Okay. Right, so that is the end of our first pitch practice and deconstruction. So everybody has some work to do. Those colorful ones are really fun.
I want mine broken out. Like
unusually.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good. All right. Thanks everybody for coming in. Next week we're going to have Faye Almashon. She's going to talk about introduction to raising capital. And then a week after that, we're going to do this again. So you guys have some time to work on this stuff. And everybody who's pitch this time, you can do it next time. And really, as it gets easier, the more that you do it. So you should take these opportunities in these sort of safe environments you're going to get feedback, but I hope I wasn't mean about it. And that's the kind of feedback that you need to improve and focus your pitch. So we will send out the recording from this. You guys can listen to yourselves and watch it again. It'll go out on Friday, as it usually does, and then we'll have Faye next week. So, and just fair warning, After the 12th, we're going to take off 3 whole weeks. The 2 weeks that are at the end of the year and the first week of January, and then we'll be back after that. All right, everybody, thanks for coming.